Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. Let's get it going with this link to tweet. One of my sponsors with Ripple, we were successful in acquiring equity at an advantageous price. Many investors would see this as a value investing opportunity, as their CEO recently stated that they have $1 billion in cash. Additionally, Ripple has global financial partners such as Bank of America. Links in the top of the description. And also, just a reminder, my other sponsor, Uphold, these guys, which is where I go when I'm buying XRP, these guys, once you have a wallet with Uphold, you can link that wallet to link to, you can literally buy private equity with digital assets, not just XRP, but Bitcoin and other digital assets. The links to both of those are in the top of the description. Here we go. James Phelan, great article about Stuart Alderoty giving the SEC its toughest fight against crypto regulation in one of the industry's most important tests. And crypto law kind of summarized some of the stuff. Ripple case is going to be a keystone in the growing debate over regulating an industry that's sometimes compared to the Wild Wild West. They want to exert power that the law doesn't otherwise give them. Alderoty said he favors reasonable regulation of the crypto industry, but the SEC is playing politics instead of pursuing sound policy. He and Brad Garlinghouse argue that Congress, not unelected agency leaders, should set the standards. Ripple appears to be playing the long game and is likely to fight the case through appellate courts if needed. Ripple is working with legislators and regulators around the world to identify areas of common interest, Alderoty said. Ripple recently prevailed in a months-long discovery fight over internal SEC communications related to the 2018 speech by William Hinman, SEC's former head of corporate finance. Alderoty has called Hinman's talk a seminal event that muddied the waters as to how the U.S. classifies digital assets. The Hinman documents remain confidential, but Alderoty said that he feels more confident about Ripple's legal arguments after receiving them. Hinman, who returned last year to Simpson, Thatcher, and Bartlett, declined a request for comment. I bet he did. Now, I consider these to be bombshell photos, folks. This is interesting to me. I don't know who this guy is, but these photos came from, I think it's called some event on some kind, it looks like it's on a yacht or something called Palm Crew or something. I guess it's like some kind of group that billionaires are in or wealthy people. I don't know. But anyway, we've seen pictures in the past. In fact, I think somebody dropped it down here. Let's see. Yeah, this one. You may remember that picture of same redheaded guy. That picture of Brad Garlinghouse. They all had these palm. So it's some kind of group, or maybe it's a company that sponsors an event or something like that. But anyway, the point is, apparently Brad Garlinghouse must be buddies with this guy, because that's the second or third photo we've seen of him with him. But what's most interesting is that who's on the same freaking boat. You may, and remember, look, he's wearing the same shirt as he is, so that means that Brad Garlinghouse is literally standing in the same party as these guys. Now, that is Guy Oseary. That is the same guy who Ashton Kutcher did the Ellen show with, where they were showing them giving away Ripple for a charity, okay? But that's not the more important figure. The more important figure is this guy right here. Does anybody recognize him? That, my friends, would be the CEO of Goldman Sachs. And that's why I call these bombshell photos. Because those go in the red file for show. New, Jim Cramer urges investors to exit crypto. It's never too late to sell, okay? So let's remind you, Digital Perspectives put together, these are 2 Jim Cramer videos so that you can show the credibility of him. He's so credible.
JP Morgan of this generation Sam Bankman-Fried's FTX is slashing everybody's margin, and average fees per transaction across the industry had declined by 50%. A lot of that is the man, Sam Bankman-Fried. But he told a good story. It's kind of where I think most of the people are who watch us, and I think that Sam, whatever, he don't even want to dignify his full name anymore, is just a con artist, and as is many of the people.
So he's the next JP Morgan, and then he's a con artist. Great advice, Jim. Then there was this today reminder that we live in the age of lies. Jamie Dimon slams cryptocurrencies as pet rocks, says they're not real. Well, I decided I would remind you of one of the videos I had put out in the past. Remember, Jamie Dimon says that cryptocurrencies are just pet rocks.
You mentioned Jamie Dimon, so let's bring it back to Jamie and JP Morgan. What do you think is going to be the thing that they will have to change the most or lose market share and somebody else is going to do better, faster, serve their clients better than JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs?
So our company Consensus has been very prominent since the start of the Ethereum ecosystem. I can attest that JP Morgan was there right from the start before public mainnet was even launched.
Well, I've spent a lot of time over the last couple of years, both building the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance and working at JP Morgan on a project called Quorum that was aimed at creating an enterprise-focused but privacy-preserving version of a blockchain.
You played such a critical role at JP Morgan, developing its blockchain practice, helping better understand how a traditional bank can embrace this new technology. How did those conversations go in the product Quorum, which you helped develop at JP Morgan? Can that be applicable to other banks?
Absolutely. It's an open source project. It's completely an agnostic, industry agnostic as well. So,
as you indicated, Consensus is announcing today that we are acquiring JP Morgan's Quorum Enterprise Ethereum blockchain platform. We additionally will see an investment, a strategic investment from JP Morgan, and have a seat on the board dedicated to JP Morgan. We'll be working together with JP Morgan to merge the technical roadmaps of our own Hyperledger Besu client, which is an Ethereum mainnet compatible client, with the Quorum technical roadmap. And under a commercial agreement, we will be supporting JP Morgan's Interbank Information Network, the IIN, and JPM Coin Network.
Wait, so JPM Coin Network, is it a pet rock? That's what I'm wondering. Is JPM Coin a security? That would be for Gary Gensler. I'm not going to play the rest of that video, but I've got countless videos drawing a line between JP Morgan and Ethereum. Wheezy found us the FTX. Remember they said that FTX did not have a board of directors, and then Sam Bankman-Fried slipped up, and then CNBC turned him off when he started to say that we have too many boards or something like that. Here's their board members right here. If any of you internet's Twitter sleuths would like to start looking into some of these people, now's the time to do it. There it is. Wheezy's got it in a tweet. Then turns out Maxine Waters must be really angry at Sam Bankman-Fried. She took his tweet where he said he's not going to come testify in front of Congress, and she said, based on your role as CEO and your media interviews over the past few weeks, it's clear to us that the information you have thus far is sufficient for testimony. As you know, the collapse of FTX has harmed over 1 million people. Your testimony would not only be meaningful to members of Congress, but it is also critical to the American people. It is imperative that you attend our hearing on the 13th, and we are willing to schedule continued hearings if there is more information to be shared later. This guy looks like he's in trouble. They're turning on him. And then there was this. He just keeps on talking. He did another interview.
I want to just really zoom in on this idea of special access, because you said to the FT this week that Alameda had special access. When you were speaking to, when you're in Washington and you're speaking with Gensler, you're speaking with members of the CFTC, you're speaking with policymakers, did they ever ask you, yes or no, if Alameda had special access to FTX? Did any of them ever ask you?
So,
I've noticed a pattern with this guy. Every time he starts the answer off with the word "so," that's before he starts lying to you. So if it says "so," it's like he's collecting his thoughts to try to give you the circular talk instead of just giving you a straight answer.
Say that, you're stating there that Alameda had special access.
No. Did any policymaker, any regulator in Washington ever inquire just generally about the relationship between FTX and Alameda?
So there were lots of inquiries about the relationship between FTX US and Alameda.
So they didn't care about the relationship between FTX International and Alameda Research. Zoom in on this.
Maybe the regulators already knew all about it. How about that? That's what I think. I think they already knew about the whole setup. How about them apples? Then there's this. This is funny. So Sam Bankman-Fried's doing his tweet and his more circular BS. And now Elon Musk has actually, remember how when everybody was being censored on Twitter, they're fact-checking the truth with lies. Well, now it's being turned around. Now they're fact-checking the lies with truth. So he says, readers added context they thought people might want to know. Experts say Sam Bankman-Fried may falsely be claiming ignorance to avoid criminal charges. Well, that's refreshing. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that truth is what we like.